started it. Thank you. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you taking the time out. I know some of you have got other shifts to do, so we might have done a double shift, so I know it's hard, and I really appreciate that. Hopefully we'll share some things with you about well-being, about happiness, and how to enjoy work more. I don't know if you can anymore. I know, exactly. I was going to say, I don't know what else I could teach you. I said to Tracy, what do you think, what about the teams? Like, oh, they're brilliant. I said, okay, maybe I need to learn stuff from you.
So take a seat.
You've got far more experience than I probably have. So, brilliant. We'll just introduce ourselves very quickly. We'll find out who's in the room. We'll play a little game. We'll talk about being happy at work, but you can teach me how that works. And then we can close off. So we'll just make it very flexible. It's not like a meeting or anything, so it's very casual, very interactive, and I'd like to hear from you guys to learn from you too, yeah? So I'll introduce ourselves, but before I do that actually, what I want to say is thank you for your service, because I realize that you guys are caring for other people's loved ones. Not only do you care for your own loved ones, you come to work and look after somebody else's loved ones. And one of the ladies I spoke to this morning, Deborah at the Knoll, she said, I look after them as if they're my own. And I guess you have to enjoy the job that you do, otherwise you wouldn't be sat here.
You wouldn't be laughing, first of all. Actually, in the way the energy is in the room, I don't think it'll be any one of you smiling. If it's a really shitty job, it would be difficult to put on that front as well. Because if you're so exhausted, it would just show in your demeanour and your behaviour.
I think we all enjoy it, don't we? I know we have us off days, but like now I'm just going.
Yeah, I love my job, but not right now.
Go on.
So, no, honestly, thank you for your service, and today we're here in your service to see if we can help. Has any of you have experience of life coaching? No. Essentially, it's if you're struggling with something, it doesn't have to be at work, anything in general, we may be able to help. It's not for everyone. It's like saying, I've got some pills, but it might not be the right one for you. So it's just there to support you in any way that we can. And not just today.
Do you do loans?
That might be the next thing.
We're looking for some too.
Just as soon as they get mine, I can sort you out.
I was wondering if they'd cover a shift next
I might be free actually. Brilliant. We'll just introduce ourselves very briefly. I've put the map up there. I was born in an island in the Middle East called Bahrain, and that's a town in there. And Sadiqa was born in East Africa in Tanzania, so we're from all over the place.
Not just born, we were born and bred there, so we came here when we were...
Well, I came here when I was 11, and Sadiqa came around
18, when I was 18, yeah.
And basically for me, I'll share a little bit about my life story. I don't talk about it very often, because I'm not comfortable, usually. And I'll explain why in a minute, but it was just moving here at the age of 11, because we had no choice, we had to move. I know it's a long story, but came to the UK, and it was a completely different culture. Went to school, from being one of the brightest kids to not doing really well. Confidence broken, racism, all sorts of problems. Went to college, it was okay. Got really terrible results. Managed to get into university somehow. Did okay at university. Wasn't doing so well. Dropped out. Went to work and carried on working. 27 years later, I'm here. But progressed really quickly at work. Did really well on the job. And then I got into management, and I started to not enjoy the job anymore. I loved doing the techie work, but didn't enjoy the management. And I couldn't quite work out what was wrong. And then last year this weekend I did a course on life coaching, and we learned a lot about ourselves. And then I came to realize actually there was something about learning something all the time, particularly technology, but learning new things all the time and then teaching it or applying it. And that was giving me joy. And when I got into management, I stopped learning all the techie stuff. And I had to learn how to make changes to improve the performance, the stats. You know, we're doing better, etc. It was just reporting. And that wasn't fulfilling me as much as the work used to. And so I got made redundant at the end of January this year, and so I'm now doing something I really enjoy, which is like talking to people and connecting with individuals and learning from you guys, as well as sharing what I have, if anything. Yeah?
I'll stand so you can all see me. So I'm Stika, and I came here when I was 18, and that was in 1996. So it was a huge cultural shift for me, coming from East Africa. First of all, the weather. Oh my God, it was so depressing. Came from a place of Indian Ocean, eating fresh food, to going to supermarkets, buying stuff in packets.
Look at that canal.
And only a canal in Birmingham. I mean, I thought, oh my God, where the hell have I come? But I came for the purpose of studying. Fell in love with Sujata. Got married at the age of 19 whilst doing my A-levels. And I was very academic back home. So in terms of, like I said at the Knowles this morning, in terms of being domesticated, for example, so looking after kids, looking after your home, I was none of that. I keep saying that I hated kids. I've got two, a boy and a girl, and I love them so much. And I keep telling them I hate kids. I don't know why I had kids. I hate kids. I don't know why I had kids. But as I say that, there are no accidents in life. So I had my first child, and for me at that time, my whole world came crashing down, because I was supposed to study. I was supposed to get a degree. I was supposed to work. I was supposed to go out and make a difference. And I didn't get to do any of that. So majority of my life was spent in thinking I am so wasted, not realizing that I'm putting all of my energy into bringing up my kids, which was an active choice that I made to look after them. Because this is a conclusion Sujad and I had come up with, that, okay, so now we have a child, what are we going to do? So the decision that we came up with was that he would go and work, and I would sit at home and look after the kids. It should have been the other way around. That's what I wanted to do. But I said, because I was also a control freak, which is sometimes it doesn't work in our favor, being controlling. That's another story for another day. So I thought, who better to look after my children than me? So I did that for a very long time of my life. And I cannot thank my lucky stars enough that my kids have turned out okay. They're very independent. They don't live with us. They live in London. My son's married. Daughter's just finishing her degree this year, so she's graduating this year. And I was thinking that, oh my God, none of this is an accident. This was all planned for my growth as a person. So like I said to my son, he's 25, and I said to him, you know what? You've been my teacher. You have taught me to introspect, to look at myself, how much more challenging life can be, but you've always given me that food for thought to become a better person each day, every day, literally. And it's the same with my daughter. And then last year, Sujad and we did a life coaching course, and that, I think, transformed our lives in that sense. That we realized that there's so many of us out there, probably including yourselves, who need a little bit of that guidance to see through in life, and that each and every one of us in this room and the 8.2 billion of us in the world had one unique thing to give or to share. How unique we all are. We all have eyes in the same place on our faces, nose in the same place, but we all look so different, right? It's in the same place, but we all look so different. So we're all so unique in our own beautiful way. And and the only reason I realize that nothing is an accident, is that if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you beautiful people today, talking. So nothing is an accident. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. As grim as it looks, it happens for a reason. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll ask you guys to share a little bit about yourself. Just bear with me. We'll come to all of that. So,
I'll go first.
okay. I want to know where you were born, because I'm just curious. And it's an interesting fact about you. So,
I just got married. Did you know? I just got married.
Did you? Congratulations!
I'm from Yorkshire as well.
What's your name?
Suzanne.
Suzanne.
I lived abroad for 20 years.
Where did you
Come
live?
back Alicante.
Oh, okay.
And I come back 4 years ago in lockdown. I started working here and I've been nowhere else since.
Oh.
Why? Why did you come back?
Why did you come back?
Because it's really difficult to make a living out there. Very difficult. If you could go and retire, I would say go tomorrow.
Right.
But you have to have money behind you,
Right, okay.
which I didn't.
But you managed for 20 years though.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow.
I want to see my grandchildren as well.
Oh.
I want to come back
How many
because of family
grandchildren?
too.
Okay.
Well, I've just inherited 4,
Oh wow.
so I've got 7 now.
Amazing. How many children?
I've got 1 biological and 4 step.
Wow.
Wow. You have a full house then?
No, I don't let them come.
Not the physical house, a full house generally.
Yeah. I can only cope with 2 at a time.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I hear you.
Okay.
My name's Charlie, born in Coventry, did live in Wales for 16 years, caught my fella in bed with a sheep. I got sent back to Coventry. So I had my daughter, and obviously he's a bit of a horrible person, so I left him, come back to Coventry because my family's here, brought my daughter up on my own. That's about it really. Interesting, my life.
What was that about the sheep in your bed? That sounds.
I caught my ex in bed with a sheep.
With another woman that looked like
Oh,
a sheep.
right.
I was going to say. I knew I've heard something about the Welsh, but not like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Charlie.
Okay. I'm Jenny. I'm born in Nepal. I came here like about 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I'm currently living in Coventry. And an interesting fact. I would say I love dancing.
You love dancing?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
There
There you go. This is all talents come out. Excellent.
What sort of dancing?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jenny.
I'm Sandeep. I born in India, Punjab. I came here in 2020 in September.
Okay, just after lockdown.
Yeah. Then after 2 years, I got married. Then I have one boy now. He's 1.5 years old. Just life is going smooth anyway.
Good.
Nice
Thank you,
garden.
Sandeep. It's good angel. I was going to say good angel. Don't talk back.
Hi, I'm Akhila. I'm also from India. I came here to did my masters. I came here in 2022.
Okay.
Interesting about me because I got my best friend in India and I married her brother.
Wow. Okay.
Because we were thick friends,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we together planned to came UK,
Uh-huh.
but she didn't get any in any university.
Oh.
So I said I will not come alone, so I got married.
Oh, my brother and sister. Come on.
And we together came here.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
You like him, right?
Yeah.
Just checking. I'm just checking.
Everyone still asking, did you marry her brother or she? So I said because we used to call a lot.
Oh,
So
okay.
everyone thinks like that, but no, I didn't him, so we married.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nikita.
Hi, my name is Aarti and I'm from Punjab, India, and I have a little family. My husband, my son is here. He born here.
Okay.
I came on student visa here in 2020 before lockdown,
Okay.
January, and my son born in 2021. So now living a good life.
You're in Coventry?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from here.
Thank you, Aarti.
Thank you.
My name is Varghese. I am from Kerala, India. I came here in 2021 for doing my masters in accounting.
Okay.
Yeah,
You completed your.
I finished it, and now I'm on PSW, post-study officer.
Okay.
So interesting fact is, now I'm working here.
That's an interesting fact. I think we figured that out.
After my masters, I'm working here, right?
So you're looking for an accountancy job, yeah?
I'm not now.
Yeah.
No, he's not going anywhere. He
Ah.
says he's signing up for at least 15. So she.
My name is Rita. I came in UK 8 years ago.
So where were you born, Rita?
Greece.
Greece.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm Greek. I came on my own here without my husband and my son. It was quite hard, but okay, everything was fine. I invest a lot of my time with my son, who is 13 years old now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I am in love with him a lot.
Good, good. It helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want it to be fighting all your time.
No,
so
no,
that's
no,
good.
no.
Okay,
no.
so your son's here now?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Okay,
here, yeah.
okay. And your husband isn't?
Yeah, yeah.
Is-
All
oh,
of us,
the-
all
the-
of us were here.
Ah, brilliant. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Rita. Okay. So, I'm going to go back a step, but before we came here, I thought, let me find out where we're going. I sort of Googled Clarendon House. And all this stuff came up. Do you guys get to read this? The feedback?
I collect them.
Do you?
I do a collecting of them.
But on the...
Charm them so they give us
I
all
was going to say, did you coerce them?
No, I don't need to charm them. You know, really. They're quite happy to give us all them stars.
And I was so impressed. I was so impressed when I went to the nose this morning, and when I read this, I was so impressed about here. And there's not many workplaces where you see lots of genuine 5-star kind of reviews where the customers, and you're talking about people's lives here. You're in charge of their loved ones, and just that feedback is so touching. Yeah, that my uncle's apprehensive about the move, but after visiting him, I know you'll be treated well. It's like, that's so touching for me. It's like, okay. You know,
We have a whipping back.
Shh, that doesn't say anything about whips in here. Just keep that out. So it was just amazing that it's not many workplaces I've been to where people genuinely enjoy the work they do, and then the feedback is so heartfelt and emotional. You know, you go to a restaurant, you'll leave a feedback. Yeah, food was great. Okay, cool. You'll have another great meal somewhere else.
What I find with when I do these reviews, they all write about the staff.
Yeah.
They're quite happy to tick off everything, but they always write about the staff, which I think that's hats off to us, really.
I was going to say, well, they can't not write about you. You are the ones caring for their loved ones. So it's because of you that those residents are happy and their families are happy, your relatives are happy. So that's phenomenal work. It's not like you're getting paid £1 million a year either. It's,
No,
but-
just reminded us of that.
Yeah. I'll make a note. So, yeah, for me it was just phenomenal that this is the feedback. We've got that. Who are you? The other thing I wanted to ask, I've prepared these slides talking about happiness at work and all this kind of stuff, but it feels like you guys are really happy in your roles. But one question I asked them this morning was, how many of you think you can be happy on demand? If I said, be happy now, could you do it?
Probably. We're all good actresses.
Oh, no, I'm really happy.
Genuinely.
Yeah, I'd only have to think about something in my head and I could be, it makes me smile. We were having an hard day a couple of weeks ago and I'm walking down these steps and I just thought of something
Yeah,
and I just started smiling again.
brilliant.
Wow.
That's
It's
amazing.
easy, and I don't never wallow in
Good.
things because it's not worth the stress. It's not going to change anything.
Is that what your husband says? Nice. Great. How long are you married?
Not long. 3 weeks. 4 weeks.
Give it
There's still time.
Yeah, give it time.
He'll be on happy pills in here.
He'll be coming here for the pills.
Yeah.
I want you to give me 2 minutes of your time and I want to show you this video and see what you think. Why is it closed? Oh, because it hasn't. I don't know if you've seen this before.
Maybe close it and open it again.
Should be to it's downloaded.
This is where the IT knowledge conference.
Yeah.
It helps.
So just give me a second. There you go.
Oh. I'd have to give a kid a paper all the time.
This one, Micah.
This is Bill's ripping up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter how many times I watch that, it still makes me laugh, right? And it's just something about where your focus is going. See, you've now stopped worrying about whatever problems you might have had at any point in time, and now your focus and attention is on that. And then it can create an energy and emotion.
I think a kiddie laughing like that anyway is the best.
Yeah,
sound
Isn't it?
ever.
Isn't it?
absolutely.
Best music.
Yeah.
Literally, it is.
And so the reason for showing you that was to say that actually you're administrating pills to your residents. You can take happy pills whenever you want. Yeah, and sometimes Seneca would do this, look at pictures from the kids when they were younger. I would really get annoyed at her when she would take lots of pictures, like, just stop taking pictures and, be present. but now we can look back and go through those
Smile at memories, yeah.
And it's so good to have that. So you guys can find ways to just at a click of a button, you know, snap your fingers and you can be happy because you can find a way to regulate your emotion.
I think you have to be like that in this job anyway.
Yeah.
For the residents,
Yes.
you don't want any badness or
Of course.
bad feeling rubbing off on them, because you want them to be happy.
Brilliant, absolutely, and you know you can see that they're in a situation where you know they're in a care home, whatever. And, you know you're not, you're independent, they're dependent. So it's absolutely, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Sorry, this is just not connected, so it's not moving forward.
I think it's transferring of energies, isn't it? I
Yes.
don't know. So when sometimes, like you guys, just now you sat in the room, all of you have this energy of laughter and smiling, and it actually vibrates, and it's almost like you bounce it off each other. So one person is in a good mood, they can rub that energy off onto the other person, and it can have a knock-on effect on everybody else. And that is what it is. So if you guys are happy, your residents feel that. So they may not be completely aware of their environment, but
They can
they're
feel
not
it.
unhappy, if that makes sense. So it's because of your energy that you're transferring on to the residents. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes we come across people when we're seeing them. You know, we say that, I just got a bad vibe of that person. The intuition tells you that. It's the energy exchange that happens. And we don't realize that because we're full of frequencies that we emit for when we're in each other's company. And Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is who believes in the work of energy and meditation and how the body can heal itself, talks about that we're actually surrounded by emitting energies and frequencies from our bodies as far as 2 to 3 meters. So if I'm sat here, person 2 to 3 meters can actually feel what I am feeling and vice versa. So this is why when you feel right in the heart, anyone else around you will feel that. They will feel it. Even sometimes when you hold somebody's hands, you can feel that exchange of energy in the way they're feeling. I don't know if you've ever experienced that when you're holding your best friend's hand or your child or your partner's hand. You can feel that. So it's the energy that we emit that we then absorb it at the same time. And that's what this video did to all of us, right? It's what we just saw. It just made our hearts swell with happiness.
Sandeep, is it possible to open that window? It's just
No,
a bit
I
warm.
think there's heating on.
No, I think it's like warm outside. So thank you. So I feel like we're sort of preaching to the converted here, talking about happiness. And shall I continue, or should we just skip over the happiness parts? Because should I continue about the happiness?
Skip it for me, I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Essentially, if I summarize it, there's an equation for happiness. Happiness is always your expectation or your perception of events. Something happened, somebody brought me a cup of tea, and I was expecting it to be darker or whiter, and it didn't meet my expectation, I'll be unhappy. But if I didn't have any expectation, whatever cup of tea I
just to
got,
get a cup.
exactly. So the typical example, the guy who sort of created this equation, if you like, he was like a chief business officer at Google. He lost his son who died in an appendix operation, routine operation. He died at the age of 21. And he said, I have to go and find happiness for myself. And he said, my son taught me so many things about how to be happy. And he came up with this. And he gave an example. He said, you can have somebody who's a millionaire, goes into a really Michelin star restaurant, orders a steak, and he says, I want it medium rare. And if it arrives well done, is he going to be happy? No. He's going to be unhappy. So he's got this really expensive meal in front of him, and he's unhappy. You give some kid in India who's poor, is not expecting a meal, a bowl of rice, he's elated. So
Should be grateful for what you've got.
yeah, so it's not about the value of it, it's your expectation. So if you weren't expecting anything and you got something, it's brilliant. I was glad I woke up this morning. I could still walk, you know, it's great. I've got the use of my limbs, I'm not dependent on anyone. I can breathe by myself. You know, sometimes you get a little cut and you realize how useful that little finger was that you didn't think it was important. Like, that hurts every time I do this or that. Do you know? We don't appreciate what we have. So like you said, just be grateful for what you have. So let's have some fun. And this is just again about creating energy. So I'll ask you all to stand up for me and we'll form a circle. So this is going to be a little bit interesting in the end. It's a small room. And it's a lovely couple, by the way. Thank you.
You're
Genuinely. Thank you, Charlie.
You better be happy now.
You were already happy, weren't you? So, let's come a little bit closer. I'm going to stay behind the screen because I need to read the questions. But what I'll do is I'll read out some statements. If it's true for you, just step into the circle, okay? And then we'll step out and then we'll go to the next question.
God, it's been going to be like, okay,
Yeah,
okay, with me.
let's you got the idea. Right, so who here has children at school?
I have a child, but she'll never go to school. It's half and half.
You call children.
You're half and half.
Okay, thank you. Who here cares for a loved one in their personal life as well?
Everyone.
I do, I care for him.
Okay, thank you. That's all of you, amazing. Honestly, I think I should sit over there. You guys should come over here. Who here's got a pet?
David.
Is that his name? What have you got?
2 dogs and a kitten.
Blimey, okay. Did you get satisfied with one dog?
No, I have those pups, 2 German Shepherds.
Okay. Kira, what do you have?
Pet dog in India,
Okay.
but now I bought fishes here.
What's possible piglet coming up?
Where do you live on the farm? Can we say sheep next?
Keep your Dave away.
Despite your, so this is the next one. Despite your accomplishments and success, how many of you feel like lazy or insecure or not enough? Thank you for being honest.
Sometimes, yeah.
Love the honesty.
Thank you for being honest. Actually, I missed the really important slide about being honest. Thank you, Charlie. Who can feel lonely in the middle of a crowd?
I think everybody could.
I'm satisfied again.
Okay, thank you. Who feels comfortable being their real, authentic self at work and everywhere?
I've got no phone.
Yeah, and I would change for now.
Interesting, okay. That's where I've been going wrong all my life.
Phone a friend?
Yes.
Yeah, who's your mom?
I ain't got none.
Okay. Who here, if you're honest, is sometimes jealous of other people's success? Yeah. You guys are just phenomenal, honestly. Wow. Who here, okay, who is there for others but never asks for help for themselves? Interesting. All of you. Thank you for that. Oh, I'm going to get all your numbers or I need some help.
You're married.
Every option.
She's trying to get rid of me.
I
You
am.
on with that?
Okay, who here has had a bereavement that they really struggled with? Sorry?
I'm glad.
Who here has had somebody close to them die and they really struggled with that? Interesting. Okay, thank you. And I'm not even going to ask this one. It's about finding meaning in work, so ignore that.
Can I ask you single?
I'll join you.
That's why. That's why.
I have an invitation, so take a seat. Thank you so much for playing with me.
Don't say a word.
Never.
She's set it off already.
She just.
So I'd say for the rest of the session, you guys have been amazing. We've probably only got about 40 odd minutes left. Is listen for insight and not agreement. So often we look for something in others that we like. Oh, you've got a pet dog. I've got a pet dog. Great, we can get on. You're looking for agreement, but look for insight, something that you don't necessarily agree with. Because usually when you don't agree, there's something that needs to be checked inside you, right? And if you work on that bit, that's introspection. That's the thing that you need to develop. And the reason I say that is an example. I was at the physiotherapist last week, and we had an accident in a car, somebody hits from the back, and I've got pain in some parts of my back. So the physiotherapist was sort of pressed and says, is it hurting here? And every time I said no, she moved on to a different part of my back, until I said, that hurts. So wherever there was a bit of a discomfort, irritation, she'd say, let me investigate. Oh yes, it's a little bit sore there. I think it needs a little bit of work. That's exactly like us on the inside, where we feel a little bit of irritation, a little bit of agitation. That's the part we actually need to work on, not the part that's okay. Yeah. Action versus perfection. You know, sometimes I used to do this a lot. But I'm getting the feeling I'm like the only odd one out here because you guys are just amazing. I would wait for something to become perfect, and so I wouldn't do it at all. I would delay it. It's just start, and then you'll improve as you go along. And transformation. So when you're doing that introspection, why is that bothering me? What did he say about that? That doesn't make sense, or I don't think that's true. Having that introspection and then doing something about it, taking some action, will create transformation. And to give examples, for some of you, as you said you struggle with bereavement, is who you became afterwards, how you overcame that challenge. Yeah? Actually, I should have asked how many of you managed to deal with it and are now, happy with that situation, because it's very hard. And you have to become somebody else. You have to overcome some challenges. I know my wife lost her dad in 2014, and she really struggled for years. And she had to become somebody else to accept that and say, okay, well, it's done now. There's nothing I can do. So it's just accepting and doing something which will create a transformation, become a new you. Yeah? And each time you have a realization, you become a new person. And trust. Vulnerability is a superpower. I should have said that before. And this is a brave space. I want you to feel free to say anything and not be, not quite.
You already have it.
Charlie.
No.
As in, sometimes you might be afraid to say something. So I'm saying this is a brave space. Despite the fear, say it anyway. Yeah?
I do, that's the trouble.
Yeah. You keep quiet the rest of the session. And the reason you're here is not the reason you think you're here. Yeah? This might be a well-being session, but you might take something else away from it. Yeah? So be open-minded. Be curious. Not that sort, Charlie. I know what you're thinking.
Take some of this.
Just have to keep him nervous.
So there's three or 4 P's about having fun at work, being happy at work. And it's talking about having play and how we can introduce play at work, find a way to make it fun. So that's something I presume you guys are doing. But if I was to say, how could you make your job fun, what would you say?
Interact with them and just all be involved together.
Okay.
Because I laugh at them all.
I love it, stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I laugh at these, not the residents.
Not the residents,
No,
okay.
to make them laugh.
Okay. Anybody else?
When we see them, we are interacting them, so we know them. So
Yeah.
like a family members, they give a smile.
Yes.
So whenever we come in the morning, the stress from home, it goes away. And when we see them, some interact, some residents interact you very nicely, so you get a smile inside, you feel happy.
You told me you didn't have any problems at home earlier. You said you had a happy life. I remember you said that. So there's no stress?
No, little bit. It's coming and going sometimes,
Okay.
It's a part of
Sure.
life,
Yes. Okay. I was just teasing you, by the way.
No, it's fine.
Anyone else? To make it more fun.
Just be happy, I would say.
Okay.
Just smile.
Okay.
Yeah, smiling
If you have that
actually.
persona, it's gonna rub off, isn't it?
Yes.
But they say that smiling actually changes your brain's chemistry. So even when you just put on a fake, because the brain is very smart. The brain has a mind of its own. And if you just put a smile on, it actually fools your brain into thinking you are happy. And you will notice that in the way you do things, in the way you behave, also changes. So just smiling fools your brain into thinking that you're happy. And maybe that's why, Suzanne, you are so happy, because you're always smiling. Yeah, exactly.
What about you? You were growling earlier on.
We all can have a
But to
moment.
be honest, Charlie's always happy.
Charlie, oh wow. So that
From all
smile.
of the staff, she's always happy.
Yeah?
Even I'm not like, she's always happy.
So when you
So
see
when I go to the
Charlie,
toilet, I'm sitting there.
if Charlie's always
Even
happy, and when
sometimes
you
they're
see
bored.
her,
Yeah.
does that put a smile on your
Yeah,
face?
yeah.
And does that
I
change
think
everything?
it does, it rubs
We can't
off on
ignore
me,
her.
yeah.
We can't ignore her because she makes you feel happy.
Fantastic.
Smile all over the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what if on the days that Charlie is not in work, what do you do?
Then
Are you not happy?
we get good stuff. Then get another good stuff. We don't get lazy one then.
What do you do?
Looking-
Are
She
you-
said she's lazy.
Are you sad? Let's say if you're off work. Are you sad on that day?
No, residents are there.
Do you know how to make yourself happy without Charlie being there?
Of course. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody else?
Rita said, of course. Why did you say that?
We work in different
Different
shifts.
shifts.
But yeah, the
My
residents,
well-being is trying to,
the interaction with our residents make our life, easier, happiest, work easiest, happiest.
Yeah.
So we try to joke, of course, there are challenges, of course, but in the end of the day, when you put smiles out there, you enlarge yours as well.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so beautifully
So
said.
well put.
Thank you.
Yeah. And this is about people. So we said having fun, playing, people, and just like we don't get to choose our parents, our siblings, we don't get to choose our work family. And this is the key. It seems like again you guys are doing it already. Is to treat each other like family. So even though you might not agree with something they say or the way they do something, your aim is to help them become better and grow rather than dismiss them because they're part of the family, right? We have to, we support our family.
Yeah, family.
I think you should all have a badge saying family.
So I'm just going to say, well, how could you all work together or support? What could you do, each of you, to support others?
Do the work for them. No, listen. Listen to them if they have got a problem or whatever, and try and figure out how to sort of like make them feel better. Not necessarily cure the problem,
Yes.
but make them feel better.
Yeah.
Just be a sounding board, you saying,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Shoulder to your
listen.
shoulder.
And it's amazing, like a lot, well, all of us as human beings, we want to be loved and we want to be accepted, regardless of who we are. And when we're not accepted or when we're not loved is when we start going downhill. Literally, I don't know how many.
Well, your self-esteem goes, doesn't it?
Everything just goes, your confidence, your self-esteem, and all we want is, let's say, I'm generally quite a loud person, so I talk loudly, I laugh loudly, I laugh like a witch when I do laugh. But I noticed that in my family, because I was the only girl who was that, it wasn't accepted, it wasn't. But now when I see my kids in the way they are, so I would just laugh and they're just there, okay, this is mom, you know, this is how she talks. Or if I'm really upset, I'll end up swearing in Swahili because that's my language that I grew up with in Tanzania. So they know that if mom's swearing in Swahili, they're like, this is mom. So there's nobody to tell me you're doing this wrong, you're doing this constantly. You know, when you constantly say that to somebody, you
knock them down.
You
Yeah.
absolutely knock them down. It's accepting someone with love, regardless of whether we accept with what they're doing. A lot of the things that the opposite person, be it our friend or family member, when they do things, there's so many things that we don't accept that they do, right? But we don't agree with, not accept, we don't agree with that they do.
But like
But
you
we
said
still
in the
accept
beginning, everyone's an individual.
Absolutely.
So we've all got our own flaws, in,
We all do,
which may not please her or him or
Yeah.
whatever. But you have to learn to sort of.
Just accept,
Yeah.
because human beings are human beings, regardless of what skin color we are, or creed, or religion, or whatever it is that we carry with ourselves. We're all human beings, we all want the same thing, and we all sweat the same and bleed the same. It's as simple as that. It's just accepting and loving the opposite person and with kindness. And there's one thing that I learned. There's a motivational speaker called Dr. Wayne Dyer. I don't know if you've heard of him. Amazing motivational speaker. He's an American, and he said if you ever have the opportunity between being right and being kind, choose being kind. So a lot of the times our egos can step in. I am right. You know, you're doing something wrong. I am right. I'm right. I'm right in what I'm saying. Just be kind, being compassionate, and I think each and every one of you probably has that, being compassionate and being kind. That's why you're in this job.
None of us would be in this job if we weren't all kind.
Exactly. So
Definitely.
I think in this industry of care home, I think people that do this work, apart from people who have no choice but to work in it, but it looks like you people want to do this, and it's your kindness
we have
actually
got a
is-
choice. We have got a choice. I think everyone's got a choice. We've got a choice whether we work here or not. We choose to come to work and work here. So I think that makes us more caring because we do want to do it.
And I can feel your kindness exuding in the way you're talking as well, each and every one of you. And that's why you've had the reviews that you've had. It's your kindness and your compassion and your love. It's nothing else, because the work gets done. The physical work gets done, right? You hear about care home industry in the news, how some care workers abuse their residents. That physical work gets done with beatings, with all of that. The work gets done. But what is missing is the compassion, the love, and the kindness. And these three things is what has given you the reviews that you guys have had, literally.
When we're showing people around, I always specify in this home, it's not pure luxury. It is what it is, but you'll never get better care anywhere. Because that's what people want. It isn't a nice flash duvet cover and this, that and other. Of course we all like nice things, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the care at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I think you guys should be so proud of yourself. Sometimes it's so hard to accept the good things inside of us, you know, like for us to think that good about ourselves. And you should be, each and every one of you should be so proud of the care and the love that you give to the residents. Yes, it's not flashy, it's not a flashy place, but it's not the flashiness. You have rich people who are so unhappy, who have amazing big homes, but they're so unhappy. They're on antidepressants, they're, you know, either take comfort in alcohol or drugs, you know. But the fact that you guys are giving up so much love and so much care and so much compassion is something to be so proud of, because you don't get to see that in this day and age a lot, by the way. It's so difficult to come by. It's so
You know what,
difficult to
it
come
was
by.
quite overwhelming. I think it was Rita who was with me at the time. We had an ambulance crew turn up here, and they actually were saying to us, I take my hat off to you guys for doing this job. This is an ambulance guy who saves lives. And that was really quite nice, wanted to hear that feedback. So
they're doing it because they're called out, right? They don't. Even though they're emergency response, but they don't choose who they come look after. You guys choose to come in.
But for someone who does that job, saves lives, and then for them to say to us, I'm not saying we're any less than them, we're not, but
No, but
it's
to save,
nice to hear.
you know, Suzanne, to save lives is the physical aspect. Like I said, the physical work gets done. It's
But
this
it's the
that
care
you're
and
putting.
yeah.
It's this that it's not seen. Yeah. So the ambulance driver, the paramedic gets his physical work done. It's this. If it is there or not. He has to do. He has to tick those boxes. He has to save lives. He's got no choice. That's part of his job. But you people, yes, that's part of your job to make sure this kitchen area is clean. It's part of your job to make sure that the nappies are changed. It's part of your job to make sure that the toilets are clean. This isn't part of your job. This is something you're doing. Yeah, this is something you're giving. You have so much compassion, so much love, and so much care. And that's the biggest gift any human being can give to somebody else. And there is no price attached to that. It's absolutely priceless.
Thank you for sharing. Does anybody else want to?
Yeah, does anyone else want to talk? Because I'm getting jarred.
That's at first.
I think we're all relatively proud of ourselves. They should be. I'm proud of myself when I come to work and do stuff. None of these look like they are at the moment.
Anything? Nothing? Then the other thing they say is what keeps people happy at work is how I was talking about having autonomy of doing what you need to do, want to do, rather than having your boss look over you all the time, so not being micromanaged. And then progress is about being able to see that you're making a change and you're moving forward. So what would that look like in your work situation? What does it look like do you have autonomy over your role, what you do, and what can you change to be able to see progress? Because the challenge is that the residents' conditions not getting better usually because they're aging. So
I think one progress is such as Annie upstairs, room 2. She really didn't want to be here.
Right.
And she was always returning at her family. You know, when I'm going home and my floor's fixed, because that's the excuse they said to her, you know. Now she never mentions it. Because she's quite happy here now.
Wow.
So I would say that's progress. Because we've actually made her feel that welcome, you know, and happy in her environment. So I don't know if that's what you were getting at, but
I don't know the answer. There could be 100 different ways to
Yeah.
interpret that. So that's brilliant. That's one way.
that's progress. And the hardest of family members, we've won round.
Yes.
And now they're like our friends, they're all lovely.
Right.
You know, but we have had some hard ones, as you can
I
imagine.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would say that's progress as well.
Yeah, and people that not come from hospital not walking,
Yeah,
and we've got more.
we've got them walking,
Wow.
you know. So,
That's pretty impressive.
And they're gaining weight because they're like really skinny. We've got weight on people.
I need to come in with more.
You can get my number after.
What else would make you feel like you're making progress?
Yeah, when I came here, I was not in care before. So when I came here, I learned a lot. Yeah, so it is also progress for
Yeah.
me, you know.
To
And
learn, yeah.
also now I just from residents, now I can understand which resident want what.
Yeah.
So different kind of people, different kind of nature I can adapt.
Yes.
I can know what they need.
Brilliant.
So it's progress for me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
you sleep for guests.
No.
No mic. No mic.
So is there anything that, if you had a magic wand, is probably the wrong example, but if you could change anything to make your work better, what would you do? Unless you're telling me it's perfect.
It's not perfect, but I think the only thing I think we would all agree on here is if we had more time. Time is at the essence when you're working, and because there's only limited staff, you do struggle. You know, you'd like that bit more time to be able to do her nails before she comes downstairs or whatever, you know. But unfortunately, we haven't sometimes. I think that's the only thing I'd change, but that's a big ask at end of the day because it's paying more people, you know, but it is what it is, so we make the best of it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we struggle, we don't struggle, but it'd be nice to have that little bit more time.
Sure.
Because sometimes we don't know what's gonna happen, how residents gonna react. So
Right.
the 2 or 3 staff should have to go sometimes there, and so we
Okay.
can't spend time. That's the-
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because this job is like unpredictable, we
Yes.
can't predict the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You could have the best intentions and say,
Yeah.
right, we're gonna have 2 hours doing that,
Yes.
John,
Yeah.
and that one little thing will go wrong and it's a knock on, and before you know it, we haven't had time to do anything
Right.
because we have to solve the problem in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like to have an emergency, and it's just
Yeah, and then it takes a couple of staff out, which makes it harder on the other
Yeah.
staff to do.
Knock-on effect.
Yeah. But then again, if we did have a good lot of staff, some days we wouldn't necessarily need them, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So it's hard. Do you carry on the way you're doing and make the best of it?
But end of the day, we all get happy that we did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that we smashed it, we did everything
Yeah.
on time.
The one thing I would say, we never rush any of the residents, but it'd be nice to do that little bit more.
Right.
Like shaving them before they come downstairs rather than get them down for the breakfast, give them the breakfast, then they have a shave.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Things you would naturally do in the
That's-
morning.
Yes.
You know, that's the little things I mean. But obviously you do have to give them breakfast, you do have to have the tablets on time and all things like that, so everything's routine.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I change.
Give her a shave while they're sleeping.
Yeah, we come up at 4 o'clock in the morning, Peter.
Peter work his job.
See, I do actually think the night staff, like, they can't start getting them up too early,
Yeah.
but for the ones that do get up, they take time,
Yeah,
and
of course.
to help us on our shift, they do a great job getting them
Yeah.
down. But it'd be nice for them to be able to think, I've got a bit more time, but they can't start getting them up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's hard.
What time do you
It is
typically
hard.
start waking them up?
After I am 4:45.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Why
wow.
so early? Why so early?
Because we have to get many people downstairs, we have to hoist people. So
They
they are
hoist them,
difficult,
fully
they
bath
are
them and-
difficult ones.
Oh, fully bath them and
Well,
And the reposition is really in this care. We need to reposition them. So anyhow, they go early to bed also. First we put in the evening after doing tea to them.
And what time is bedtime?
Like 6 to 7.
Really?
Yeah. For few, but few likes to watch telly. They go with them.
Most are independent. Yeah.
Independent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they want, we ask.
Right. So then, how many of them need to be bathed and how many can do it themselves?
they all need assisting. Let's
Right.
put it that way.
Okay.
We always need to be
But they're
with
often-
them
Right.
to make sure that they do everything all right. The ones that do it themselves, but obviously we're there on hand.
Yeah.
So, because there's a few, if you if you just left them, they probably just get clothes on. That's it.
And how many need like full assistance?
Then I could have
How many?
Roy, Michael,
Yeah.
It's about eight altogether, isn't there?
Ivy,
Ivy.
Ralph,
We
Nana,
have none at night.
Mhm.
It's around 10 maybe.
Yeah.
You can say, yeah.
Wow. And then, how many people on the shift at night?
3.
Okay, so 3 people are going to get those 10, and then the other 18. Okay. And then how many people on the shift during the day?
Oh, and 1-to-1 for one of the residents.
Okay.
So it's not a lot, but it is the
Sure.
average of anywhere else.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So, any ideas what you guys would improve, change to make it better?
Don't look at me, I've said my bit.
I totally agree with Susan. We
Okay.
need some more time, like we start 4:45. Sometimes when we
I would-
have
Yeah, I would say that
falls during the night, we have to call the ambulance,
Oh.
so.
I wouldn't
Sometimes
necessarily say
you
that's
can't
for our
predict.
benefit though, it's more for their
For them.
benefit.
Yeah,
because-
exactly,
yeah.
that's for us.
Yeah.
Now we will do our job and we will go home.
Mm.
It's for their benefit, I agree.
Mm.
Okay. But give them more time, meaning give them more time in bed, or give them more
No,
attention?
attention.
Attention,
Your
talk
time
to
with them.
them.
The little
Yeah.
things, yeah,
Yeah.
that you do them.
Yeah.
And talk to them, make
Yeah.
them feel comfortable all
Yes.
the time.
Connecting with them, basically, right?
Sometimes people at night they feel lonely.
Yes.
My last shift, Joyce told me, sit 10 minutes with me, please. You have to ignore your job and you have to sit
Sit.
down with them because they need to talk to you.
Yes.
Nighttime sometimes it's quite tricky for them.
Yes. Any more?
What would you change?
Everything is fine, according to me.
It's not.
You already mentioned your main point.
Sorry?
You already mentioned main point anyway, it's fine.
Yeah, so I guess those were the sort of 3 key points I was wanting to talk about, was how to have fun at work, how to play, and I guess lots of other companies in the corporate space will talk about making things into a game having competitions, things like that to
The one thing me and Charlie normally do, if this is on camera in it as well, but when we're taking them to bed, she'll start singing a song and then I'll carry on and she'll carry on. Before you know it, we're both bellowing out and they're laughing their heads off. But we do that every time we put them to bed. We like that.
That's exactly what I mean. It's
Yeah.
just finding some way to have fun. And not only do you
But
have
then
fun,
he'll swear at us and we'll just get keeled over laughing. But you can't help laughing at us then. Yeah.
Great.
You get the energy flowing right with that, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, so it's just, finding a way to have fun. The people, you guys are in a supportive group, it looks like, and you all support each other. And I'm wondering, for the quieter ones, what would you like to feel more supported by your team or the managers? Doesn't matter who, but what would you like to feel more supported? Yes, Akila, I can see you want to say something.
I'm a person who not talk too much,
Okay.
but when I came here, I started talking. Even I go to the office, Tracy will start speaking to me, so it makes me more confidence to work here.
Okay.
Like talking with everyone.
Okay.
Some residents also will talk to them, so it makes us so that it's comfortable to work here.
Okay. So now you want to keep quiet again, or?
Sometimes I will go quiet and go.
So do you need anything to support you anymore? Do you need something to feel more supported? No? Okay.
Good.
I think we work as a team, that's why
Yeah.
if someone in problem, then we jump in there.
Sure.
That's just,
Because for some of you, obviously you come from India and the culture is very different here.
Yeah,
You don't know what you can do, what you can't do. Do you feel supported in that way? Do you feel like, okay, I don't know what's acceptable here, what's not acceptable?
We are learning
I
day by
think
day.
you're quite good. You do ask a lot of questions.
Yeah,
I
we're
do
quite
think.
good. We started learning when I came, didn't know the pudding, so manager told us how to make pudding, so
Okay.
I love to make now, so I love,
Yeah.
everything. Day by day, we are learning.
Sure.
Every day is a day of learning. It's not like,
So what would be the biggest, so you've got two people from Kerala, two people from Punjab and then one from Nepal. What would you say, and Greece, what would you say is the difference in the culture here compared to back home for you?
yeah,
It's
they're more
totally-
communicative, much,
Really?
because their accent, they're more communicative.
Okay.
But now we're learning from them how to
Right.
communicate much, which slang they're using, so we
Okay.
tried learning.
So
So
don't repeat all the rude stuff they say.
we're learning
Sure.
how to the language as well, so everything at work we're learning. So if we'll stay at home, we can't get the benefit
Sure.
of learning these things. Everything like
if we
food.
study something is different when we work with them,
with
it's a
them,
different
it's
slang
a
and
different-
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
we,
We try
we
to
don't
learn
know how
anything
to
now.
pronounce that, but when they pronounce, we know how to pronounce
So
the
you're
word.
learning on the job, really?
Yeah,
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 so
good,
it's really-
yeah.
You're studying on the job.
When you
Yeah.
say something they
Yeah.
can't understand.
Yeah, sometimes
You
the slang
say
difference,
it
but
back.
now we are learning from them. And here, especially when we were here,
We learned how to
celebrated-
dance from you.
Yeah, the Diwali.
No, Joey has.
She did as well with us.
Yeah, you want to get this dress on.
We just eat.
She wear my dress, look at size. I opened it still.
Your English is coming on way too good, girl.
We danced Eid Mubarak and she was like Eid Mubarak.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we celebrate Diwali.
Yeah, we celebrate Diwali, we celebrate Eid here
And
as well.
Christmas, everything.
Yeah, everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
That's
were
good that
celebrating
they gave
everything.
us chance to,
Brilliant. And that's really good.
Yeah. Last year we celebrated Diwali and
Eid as
and
well, this year
Christmas. Yeah.
Eid. Yeah.
Very good. What about you, Rita?
Holy, yeah.
I've been here a year, so I learned a lot of things,
So what would you say is for me, I don't know Greek culture, what would you say is the biggest difference between the Greek culture and British culture?
We are more open, like characters. how I can say that we are loud people, smile loud, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk loudly. We are like this. We express our emotions at the same time. We don't keep everything, you know. I have
Yes.
all mine. We give everything. We are like, it's our culture like
Yes.
this.
Yeah, the British people generally are
We are
very closed.
yeah,
and-
yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, yes.
I don't think you're British, darling. I don't think you are. You might be related to Rita. You're gonna check it.
You might have been Greek in a past life.
Probably.
A very loud one.
What about you, Jenny?
I feel like it's completely opposite of what you said. Our Nepali people are a little bit conservative, you know.
Okay.
So I feel like here it's a bit open. People are open.
Okay.
I like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What about in Kerala? Would you say the people are
Conservative or open?
It depends upon the people.
That's a great
We're mostly old generation, you know.
okay?
Conservative.
Okay, interesting. But then I would have thought that from the impression I got about Kerala was like people are more friendly. And
Yeah, we
If
talk
you-
to, not me, other Kerala,
Yeah.
they talk too much.
He's a quiet one.
Then you were born in the wrong place. You should
So,
have
He's
been
over
okay,
born-
you need to spend some time with him to talk, get him to talk a bit more like you did. You know, open up and ask lots of questions.
One other staff here, Riddle, he's on holiday.
Yeah.
He can teach both of them. She's also
Yeah,
not
he
open.
used to be really quiet, Riddle. Now he's not.
Now he's
Now
not.
he's
Now he's
not.
not.
No.
He's very open.
Yeah. Okay, good. Brilliant. I mean, look, we've talked a lot. Do you have any questions for us?
Ask anything. Don't ask us for money.
Not for
Oh
any-
no, we don't have any.
Have you done that?
Locker in the bathroom.
I would love to know how you guys are feeling after this session with just one word expression emotion. So if you can, we'll go. How are you feeling after the session?
Quite good, yeah.
Yeah.
That felt good before, to be fair.
Yeah, no change.
There's no change
I've
there.
got issues now.
Oh.
Because you said that to me. My well-being has been affected.
I'm not keeping that. You can get over it.
I was just, I can see you suffering, Charlie.
So I find I'm just more happier.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. Ginny?
It was fun. It's fun.
Yeah? Rita?
I would say interesting.
What was interesting?
Interesting.
What was interesting?
Because you learn so many things. Okay, you can do questions to yourself, but
Yeah.
you don't know how the other people think, even our co-workers, you know.
Yes.
So it was interesting to know some things from my
Colleagues.
yes, colleagues.
Your work family.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sandeep?
Yeah, it's good anyway because we learn many things from you, and you mentioned before we can take energy from people to they are few meters away from us. If we talk to them, then we can feel different things. Because when I coming from here, in my mind different things. Now my different things that change when we talk to them.
What has changed? I'm curious.
Like now, sometimes we feel like a down.
Yes.
When many things going in my mind, when we speak to someone else, then our thinking, oh, we can live life like that way as well. These things like that, yeah.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah.
I always say to my daughter,
That's
she's a single mum, and she does get down. She suffers with anxiety. I always say to her, come on, Emily, positive thinking, positive outcome. And she does, she focuses, she actually goes to gym. She says, I feel so much better, but it just needs pushing
Because,
because she will, yeah.
You mentioned about the gym. What happens is when our bodies go through something strenuous like exercise, it actually releases a happy hormone, and you do generally feel better. I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts or not. Are you guys in any of?
Yeah.
So there's a scientist from Stanford University in America. He's called Dr. Andrew Huberman, and he's got his own podcast. So he's a neurodivergent neuroscientist. So he's got like podcasts where he interviews a lot of people. He's very, very big on sleep. That, I don't know, you see when it comes to even losing weight, for example, you will notice that the first thing that they talk about is have good night's sleep. If you want to lose weight, you may be dieting, you may be exercising, and if you're seeing that it's not shifting, you have to look at your sleep pattern. That's number one. Number two, he talks about so living in countries like the UK, for example, where there's hardly any sunshine, perfect example today. He says that the biggest thing is, in order to get your sleep into a pattern, so some of us suffer from anxiety or insomnia, things like that, and we don't know, or when you're constantly worrying at night and you can't fall asleep as a result of that. He says when you wake up first thing in the morning, just stare at the sky or the sun. If the sun is out, so not directly at the sun, it's the light, for about 5 minutes. That actually sets your circadian rhythm in the body, and it sets you up for the night. So what you do first thing in the morning, by looking at, and if it's a dull grey day like this where you think, oh my god, there's no sunlight or there's no light at all, then stare at the sky for about longer, 10-15 minutes. And not through your window, but literally go outside and do that. That sets your circadian rhythm, and that's the biggest thing that actually also, in terms of depression, anxiety, everything starts. It's because the body is not in homeostasis. The body is all over, and that's why we feel, and I only speak this from my own personal experience, and that's why we feel all over the place many times. And when we go exercising, suddenly you feel like something amazing has just happened to me. So the first thing that we need to look at is our sleeping patterns. That's the first most important thing. So that's probably some food for thought for all of you about your sleeping patterns, and the first light in the morning, to just look at the sky for about 5-10 minutes before you get on with your day.
So that'd be my excuse tomorrow while I'm late.
I was staring at the sky.
Sorry, I'm looking at the sky.
Exactly.
Explain that one to him.
Fantastic.
Sorry, can I just stay here for 1 minute?
Sure. Thank you, Sandeep. Akira?
Feeling happy,
Yeah? Okay.
thinking we are all happy place now.
Good. Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was good. I've learned a lot, like expectations, you said. It's my problem, I expect a lot. So I think that now you told, and everybody feel the same, so I should stop expecting much. That's what I learned.
Thank you. And you're not the only one. Lots of people do that. We have expectations of things,
Yeah,
and then they're not met, and then we're unhappy.
yeah, that's the thing which I learned.
Thank you.
But the thing is, if we, look inside, what we done for them, then maybe our expectation is going down anyway. If I'm thinking, if I'm expecting something from you, but I need to think about me, what I done for you first.
There's two different things here, for example. What we're talking about
After
is...
that, maybe I feel oh no, that's fine, I'm not done for him anyway.
Yeah.
I don't need to expect anything from you.
No, not even that. Let me give you an example.
Because the thing is, I've been emotional man in the beginning, now I'm changed anyway.
So now you're no emotions.
Now I just changed because many friends and family problems, they changed my mind. Now I like to stay quiet, no expect anything from anyone.
Yeah,
But-
that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's the good thing. I feel good now anyway. Because before I expecting, I done this one for him. He should need to think about me, what I did for him, but no one bother anyway. then why I'm thinking? Why I'm wasting my present for the past?
Perfectly said. I think that's the key. I was going to say that
Yeah.
the expectation is about I should not stop doing things for you. Yeah, that shouldn't stop. The problem is when I don't see you do something for me because I'm expecting it now,
Yeah.
I'll be disappointed. Yeah? So if I phone you every day and I say, oh, no, it's always me phoning Sandeep, he never phones me. So I'll be upset because I'm expecting you to phone me.
Yeah.
But I never told you, Sandeep, call me.
Yeah.
Yeah? But if I said, Sandeep, I'll call you one day, you call me the other day, and if we agree on that,
Yeah.
that's a different thing. I say, oh, Sandeep, you told me you'd call, and
Yeah.
you didn't. That's different. But that's when you're, again, if I expect it and hang on to that expectation, it's about make the effort. Yeah? Like some of you said, we've done this, we've done that. So pursue your goals. But don't be attached to the outcome. For example,
Yeah.
I want a Rolls Royce. I don't, but I want a Rolls Royce. Now I'm stuck on that Rolls Royce. I'll never be happy until I get it. Actually, I'll never be happy even when I get it. Yeah? But if I say, no, I'm going to make the effort to getting this car, but I'm actually going to enjoy the process. And the process of what do I need to get that Rolls Royce is the growth.
Yeah.
Yeah? So somebody said to me, the journey is the destination. So enjoy the present. Like you said, right? Why am I ruining my present right now?
Yeah.
I'm expecting this, I'm expecting that, something happened in the past, something will happen in the future.
Yeah.
But right now you're making yourself miserable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah? So it's just, look, what's going wrong right now? We're all comfortable, we're indoors.
Yeah.
If it rains, we're okay, no problem.
Tracy's not that comfortable. She's like, can you do this? Can you do that because I do? I'm like, just keep smiling.
Yeah. I'll be back later. Yeah, so have no expectations, but don't stop your efforts. The expectation is what's causing the sadness. And like you said, problems, you mentioned about having problems. We all have problems. What happens is we need to use about 5% of the time to fix that problem. We need to apply the brain power just for a short time to solve it. What happens is, and this guy Mo that talks about this, he said, your brain needs to be worried. Oh, is there a danger to my life? Is something going to go wrong? Do I need to sort something out here? You have 90 seconds. After that, it's finished. I can give you a very quick example. He says you might have an argument with somebody, and you're annoyed. Ah, he said that, they said this. You're playing that in your head. And you come to work, and somebody says, oh, that resident needs help. You stop thinking about your argument, and now you're focused on the resident. You forgot. You're not happy. You're not sad anymore. You're not annoyed. You finished work. You walk out the door. Oh, they said
Yeah,
so
that's
we
true.
replay the problem over and over again.
Yeah.
The brain did what it needed to. Check you're safe. Yeah, I don't need to do anything. There's no one going to come and attack me and kill me and all of those things. You're safe. It's there for your protection. But what we've done is just replay. And now it's a life's worth of problems, constantly replaying, and I'm constantly miserable. Yeah? For a little while, people will get relief if they go and do some exercise or sports because it requires their brain to be diverted somewhere. Addiction is another reason because it diverts your, attention somewhere. You get a dopamine hit, but that's getting you hooked onto something else.
I always say there's never a problem, there's always a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
What is the solution to every problem?
Yeah.
And the thing is, we overthink it. Yeah? And that's the key, is to say, actually recognize that I don't need to replay this. Why am I doing that?
Yeah. Stop now anyway. Before
Yeah. but imagine, like even when we're angry at somebody, that person has no idea. If I'm angry, she has no idea. It's me who's annoyed. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard this saying that anger is the poison that you drink. It's bothering you, not the other person.
It is, yeah.
So it's just let it go. Stop. It's for you. You know the same about forgiveness. It's not for the other person. It's so that you feel better.
And
Sorry.
the brain doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. The brain doesn't have that capacity to think that if you're thinking about an event that riles you up, for example, the brain doesn't know it's happened in the past. It
So you
thinks it's
feel-
happening right now, and that's why your heart rate goes up. You become angry, you become upset. The brain is thinking this is happening right now, so I need to put a protective barrier on immediately. But it doesn't know that this thing probably happened 20 bloody years ago. 20 years ago. That's a long time. The brain doesn't know that. It thinks it's happening right now. And that also, as a result, we will notice that we'll end up becoming or falling sick as a result of this overworking, constantly overworking. It's because the brain doesn't know the difference. And if once we realize that, you will notice the solution to happiness, the equation just automatically comes in. And it's always work in progress. There's no end to it. The end is the death path. You die and that's the end. Yeah? Until then, it's constant work in progress. Constant. You'll fall, you get up. And it's not about falling, it's how quickly you get up. Because we all fall. It's how fast we want to get up. So I think one of you said, I don't wallow. Did you say that? Yeah. See? So you may fall.
I can forget an argument like that by agreeing to disagree. That's
fantastic.
Because it's not giving me.
And that's the best place to be.
Yeah.
That's the best place to be. So you may have fallen, but you know how to pick yourself up quickly. It's how fast you pick yourself up.
There's no point because it just disturbs me.
Absolutely.
I'm not disturbing myself.
Absolutely.
Causes wrinkles and I'm too old, is it?
Yes. Spot on. Spot on.
Sorry, I'm just conscious of time.
Yeah. And
So, so remind me your name again.
Varghese.
Varghese. Okay. Sorry, go on, Varghese.
Yeah, it was very good. I just came after finish my shift. I hardly slept for 1.5 days.
I'm really sorry. Okay. I hope you
because
go home
I-
and get some sleep.
No, today I got shift
Oh,
night.
but that's 8 o'clock, right?
No, 7:30.
Oh, 7:30.
I'm not going back to home because it's
Or one of the residents' men.
no, not today. Tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm
God,
off
I'm so
tomorrow, so
sorry.
it's fine to sleep. I thought I would be very sleepy, but it was quite engaging and interactive. Thank you.
Thank you. Any feedback for us? How could we have made it better? I know we've got to wrap up.
I think you've actually got us all talking, to be fair.
I'm really sorry.
So,
I need to shut up now.
yeah.
Like you know more.
We'll take over now. Who's doing more? No, I think it's good. We got us all talking about issues and stuff. So yeah.
Any other feedback? What we could have done better?
That is a good routine.
I'll make a cup of tea next time. Any other feedback? Don't feel shy. Have you got something? No?
Yeah, you need to think about doing loans.
Yes. That'll be my next thing.
give him a taking.
Give us stuff to think about. You know, like what you was just explaining a minute ago. You know, about the brain and things. I tend to think that is probably right, although I've never heard it before. Because
She's always
that,
right.
well, yeah, because she
Yes.
it has to be in your eyes. You know, we were on about bereavement earlier on. You can think about that person, and like you said, the brain thinks it's having out, so you do get overwhelmed. What you have to do is learn to live with it. My son died a long time ago, but the vicar that christened him said to me, it's like losing a limb. You know it's not there, but you learn to live with it and carry on and make the best of what you've got. And I always took that on board. And I think there's no worse than death, really, especially when it's someone you love as well. So they won't want you to be sad and everything else.
Exactly.
So you have to make the best of everything, I think. We're very lucky, and it's a short trip
Yes.
we're on. Very.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
And that's
I'm stopping talking now, right?
No,
I've had
no,
enough
You
now.
can't stop passing.
Thank you for sharing. Really appreciate your vulnerability in the way you shared that. So thank you for that.
It was just I always thought at the time, I'm going about 31 years ago, 33 years ago, sorry.
How old was your son?
It would have been 35 this time. But it's like, it was such a meaningful thing that it said. At the time, I couldn't think of, but as time goes on, you think, God,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
I know he's not here, but I have to carry on.
Yes.
I've got another child now to care for. I can't let my sadness and everything else rub off on everybody else. You know, you don't.
Yeah.
And like with your parents, when your parents pass on, there's no worse.
Yeah.
No worse
True.
than another child, but it's awful because you're, if you ever have a problem, who would you talk to, your mum or your dad? When they're not there,
Who do
you know
talk
about
to?
it, yeah. So you have to cope,
Yeah.
and you have to make yourself stronger, I think. That's why I don't never wallow on anything.
I think you're in the wrong profession, Suzanne.
Do you?
Yeah, you should be a
Have you got a
motivational
job?
speaker.
I'm looking for a job.
I thought you all said that. No, it sounds like you've done a lot of transformational work. And I said earlier about transformation. You go through the
I had no
struggles.
option at the time. I mean, I don't know if all these knew about that, but I had no choice. I had no choice. It was either do or die at the time.
It was more about survival then, but right now it sounds it's more about awareness. There's a difference.
I love talking that and saying that I had a son. Yeah, he has passed on, but I still had him. It was still meaningful.
Absolutely.
You know, so you
Absolutely.
to talk about him in a positive way.
And this is it. I've heard lots of people talk about this who've had young children there. So actually, I'm grateful for even that short-lived opportunity to have them. And that
I had
time we got to
10
spend.
days of the best.
Wow.
You know, yeah, we're poorly and that, but I had 10 days. And it was worth carrying him for 9 months.
Brilliant.
You know.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
That's made me sad now.
Don't
Stop
because you're
it.
working with me
Stop it.
later.
Charlie will give you Sujat's number then. It'll make you happy again. Or, sorry, I can't give you any loan because I'm looking for one myself.
And she's not giving you her husband's number.
You can take him, keep him.
No, we can't give her a loan.
Well said.
You nearly drop yourself in there.
Well, thank you so much for playing with us
Thank
and
you.
coming
Thank
along
you.
and giving us your time. We really appreciate that.
Thank you so
And
much.
if you
You
want
guys
to
are
get-
amazing.
If you
All
want
of
to
you.
get in touch, we have got our details here. You can scan our barcode, it'll save our number in your phone. Get in touch. And if we can help in any way, we'd be honored to. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No,
thank you so
you.
much.
Are you on
Thank you.
Facebook?
Yeah, but I'm terrible at using it.
Yeah, especially when it comes